Hey guys, Brent here from ShareInspireCreate.com. I've got Gail on the other side. She's from Canada, and she's one of the Sick Lounge members. So she's in the community, and we're going to do a case study, an image that Gail put into the community, and she got some feedback on what she actually learned from that. So, Gail, how are you?
I'm great, thanks.
So where exactly are you from?
I'm from Manitoba, Canada, in the south central part.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, Gail. So I'll just jump in and we'll share the screen. Okay, so this is what Gail put. This is the image she put in there. So Gail, explain to me what was the problem with this image, because when I look at it, it just looks so beautiful to me. I don't see any faults with it.
Well, the image itself I really loved, and I was happy with 98% of it. But on the little girl's sleeve in the lower right corner of the photo, I just had a bit of ghosting or chromatic aberration. I wasn't really sure what it was. It was a line that I was wished was not there, and wasn't sure how much to work the picture or to get rid of it or improve it using Lightroom, which is my editing software of choice. So I thought I'd toss it in the lounge there and see what people could suggest for me.
Okay, so a couple of people jumped in. I jumped in there. Jenny, she'd suggested a few things. Andrew, quite a few things, and basically, yeah, quite a few guys jumped in. Matthew, Johnny, and what did you actually learn from what everyone said in the lounge?
I learned a couple of key things, actually. One was there were a few tips on the possibilities for hiding or disguising that line, and I did work with a few to darken the edges a little bit and soften it with some brushes and some techniques that way, and that was very helpful to minimize the look of that line. But the other thing that I did learn from people, they were so gracious that I heard a lot of people saying that they hadn't really noticed that what I perceived as an issue, they didn't see as an issue, and that it was a better picture on its own than I was thinking it was. So I got a lot of encouragement and maybe a little bit of a reminder not to be quite so hard on my images.
Well, that's good. I suppose, we are our own worst critics. But so when it came to editing, I said, so this is the before image. So this is the one you put into the lounge, and I can see a sleeve. Something's happened to a sleeve there. I didn't even notice it when I first looked at it. I just looked straight at her eyes. Such a beautiful image, such a lovely shallow depth of field. And by the way, what did you photograph this on? What were the settings? I can probably look over here, right? Oh,
yeah, you might have to. It was my macro lens, but I use it actually quite a bit for portraits, and I was wide open.
Okay, f2.8, yes.
Yeah, I made a homemade backdrop and setting using my bed with a blanket that my husband made a backdrop holder with some PVC pipe, and I clamped the blankets over the PVC pipe and have her sitting comfortably, or in this case, she was laying on her tummy on the bed. And in this particular room, I've got a couple of nice east windows. So it brought some good light, and I brought her dad into the whole thing by having him hold a reflector to my left, so that it just softened shadows on her left.
Yes.
And it worked really well.
Awesome. So I can actually see the window. Is that the window light in her eye there? That square thing?
Yes, it would be. Yeah.
Okay, that's just beautiful, soft light. And so you basically made your own portable home studio. It looks like you just got a nice, even, dark background.
That's right. A bit of a textured blanket, but that worked well for this.
And how did you get her to pose like that?
Well, she's 2.5, so it took a little bit of encouraging, but you tap into your inner clown, and you engage them. I do know this family, so that was helpful to me, that I could chat with her and got her to lay on her tummy. I actually had a pillow a small pillow rolled up underneath the blanket under her so that it helped elevate her upper body so that I could really get a nice view of her face. And then just kind of showed her a couple of hand poses and said, can you do this? Can you try this? And this was not exactly the pose that I had suggested she try, but in her own 2.5-year-old way, it was adorable. And so, you know, you're kind of modeling and shooting with one hand at the same time. And yeah, it just really worked because she was doing her own thing, and with a little bit of my suggestions, her own version of it worked really well.
Perfect. Were you sitting on the ground too to get down to her level?
No, that's the nice thing about my bed. It's quite high.
Ah, good. Okay, so you can kind of stand there. Okay, perfect.
Yes, I'm getting very good leg muscles from squatting, though, because you really have to get into some unique positions sometimes. I didn't know that photography was such a workout.
Oh, yeah. When you're photographing kids, it's always good to get down to their level.
Absolutely.
You know, at least their eye level. Don't shoot down at them, get down to their level. And just a beautiful image. I love the soft lighting, the shallow depth of field, her expression, everything's perfect there in the dark background. So when it came to the editing, we'll get back to your problem with the sleeve. So what did you end up doing over here, Gail? This is the end product. It looks like it's been darkened a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I increased the vignette a bit, but first I went over I enlarged the picture quite a bit and went over the line using the clone tool, actually, with the brush, and just added a bit more of the background to the sleeve. I actually cut away a little bit of the sleeve, but in a very minor amount, and then softened it using the clarity feature and the softness with a brush again, just soften that change so that you couldn't see the line, and then increase the vignette so that it just, in fact, I think with this one I did used the grad filter and brought it in rather than just the whole automatic vignette. And that was something that I was kind of afraid to do because I really liked the light on the first picture. I liked that it fell off. But some encouragement from some people in the lounge had me think that it might be okay to really darken the edges and bring that feature more on to her eyes. And I think it worked.
I think it works really well. Did the parents of this girl see the images yet?
Yes, they have.
And what
They're
do they
very
think?
Pleased. Very pleased. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, well done, Gail. And that's awesome. So you put it into the lounge. You've got some feedback. It's giving you a bit of a confidence boost because people said the image is actually pretty good, and you found a fault with it, and people have helped you actually post-process it in a way that you may not have known. So are there any other tips you can give to photographers who want to improve their photography? How can they actually become better? Like just a couple of things that you found has really helped you.
Well, one thing that helped me to no end was having my camera in my hands daily. That learn the equipment. You're taking pictures often of the same things or the same scenes, and you think you're getting bored, but that challenges you to look at it from a new angle, find a way that isn't boring, and just really becoming comfortable with your equipment and looking at your surroundings and saying, what can I take a picture of today? Where's the light? What can I make extraordinary out of the ordinary? Again, a daily use was pivotal for me to becoming a better photographer. And the next thing for me, honestly, was joining the Sick Lounge. That taking the risk to put my pictures in front of people who I don't know and who aren't my friends. They don't have to say something nice about me. It's one thing to put your picture on Facebook and get the likes, but this is really in front of people who are very talented and very knowledgeable and getting their feedback. It took a big risk. It was kind of scary, but you guys have been great. Very positive, very encouraging, very affirming, but not just saying nice things, saying helpful things, and just keep inspiring me to get out there and keep trying and keep growing. And it's also been good for me. I really do appreciate how you are encouraging us to be positive. One of the hardest things I experience as a photographer is the whole comparison. And there's just so many people who are taking pictures, and photography is in various levels quite a popular thing, and it's hard to not measure and come up short. But that whole comparison is just set aside and forgotten when you're encouraged to look at someone else's images and be positive and see the good in them and encourage them. It just changes the trajectory of how I feel about my own photos and other photographers. And it's been a really great experience.
Awesome. Well, thanks for that, Gail. And I think I'll highly encourage anyone, if you want to improve your photography, jump into the Share, Inspire, Create Lounge and hang out with Gail and me and Johnny and a few hundred other great photographers in there. So, Gail, I'll just share your website really quickly if people want to find out more about you. So it's glowenphoto.com. So there it is, guys. Go check out Gail's brilliant images and send her some love, and hopefully we'll see you in the lounge. So there we go, Gail. Thank you so much for being on this case study, and we love having you in the lounge. And thanks so much for your contribution.
Thanks, you guys. It's been great. Love the lounge.
Awesome. See you later. Bye.
Bye.